Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of the Extra Point. We're shooting a day early this week because
Yeah.
we got a whole lot of fun stuff going on over here at the side.
Work stuff.
Work stuff.
Gotcha.
I'm here with Callie and Zach. And Callie,
got your
first
Yeah.
time. Let's talk last week's football real quick. Last week we had a few teams were on byes. Tullahoma and Franklin County was on a bye. Probably needed to heal up. Good time to heal up.
Yeah.
Some injuries to finish the season. Coffee County lost to Riverdale, which we kind of figured that. Moore County beat Huntland, and we kind of figured that. Other games around, Lincoln County crushed White County 45-6. Shelbyville beat Columbia 38-14, which was a big game for Shelbyville.
Yeah, it was a big game.
To win that.
That's Columbia's first loss of the season.
Yeah.
Second, they
Second.
lost to Summit.
Okay, so
Well, and they may have another loss. You're talking region play, I think.
yeah.
So Fayetteville was on a bye, and Grundy County forfeited to Upperman last week due to some issues that probably a lot of you folks may, be aware
Already
of.
heard.
Yeah.
But I will say that Grundy County voted last night to not throw the rest of the
Yeah,
season away. So they will be back in action this next Friday night. Let's just talk real quick briefly about some of the upcoming games this week, guys, because I know we're kind of excited. We're getting near the end of the season. Tullahoma, Giles County. Zach, what are you seeing from that? Tullahoma needs a lot of help at this point to make the playoff.
They do, and they essentially have to win their last two ball games of the season. So this is kind of a crucial one if they even want to have a chance at the playoffs. This is a matchup that Tullahoma can win. It's going to be a little bit of a tough one. You kind of never really know what you're going to get from Giles County, though. Giles County previously
you kind
lost
of
to.
don't know what you're going to get from Tullahoma.
Well,
either.
yeah, you know that you're going to get a pretty good second half from Tullahoma, though. But the first half, you kind of don't know what's going to happen.
Well, but you get a good second half because you dig yourself a hole in the first
Well,
half.
exactly.
So
But Giles County also lost to Lincoln County earlier this year, and so I just don't know what to really expect from this one. And I'm looking forward to a good ball game on Friday night.
well, and looking forward to another good ball game. This one's got implications, and I think Franklin County can win. They're going to Lincoln County.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they can win this game. Lincoln County has only won 2 games on the season, but this is a big rival for both of these teams. So Lincoln County always seems to bring their A game, but we did have that bye week. Everybody got to get healthy, get a couple extra practices in. So hopefully Franklin County can clinch that win to kind of get them over that hump. 5 wins looks real good for them.
Yeah, right now I got them sitting at 4-4, Shelbyville sitting at 4-4, and Tullahoma sitting at 4-4. However, the team that looks the best out of those 4 teams we just mentioned is Shelbyville, because in region play they're 3-1.
Yeah.
So and they're in Franklin County.
Yeah.
So speaking of next, Siegel and Coffee County. Siegel will be at Coffee County. This is actually maybe a game Coffee County can win. What do you think?
Maybe, but I still think Siegel will be in Rutherford County School. I still think Siegel has the advantage heading into this one, so I like Siegel in this one.
Well, in region play, Siegel's just a notch above Coffee County. So Coffee County can notch this win. And then they play White County last, who has not won a game so far this year. Maybe a growing,
Yeah.
So, I mean, Coffee County, we know they have some talent. It's playing a really brutal competition.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's talk. Moore County will be at Richland this week. Moore County's been one of the surprise turnaround schools.
Yeah.
They're sitting at 6-2 on the year, 3-1 in the region. Both their last games are regional games. I think they can win both.
Yeah.
They're sitting, I think, 2 in their region. So, the playoffs are looking good for Moore County.
Yeah.
Harpeth will be at Fayetteville. Fayetteville's also in that same region with Moore County, and they're looking pretty good to take that 3rd spot, or possibly if somebody was to falter, maybe move into that 2nd spot. Let's see. Cornersville will be at Huntland. I don't see Huntland winning that one at all.
I know.
No.
Unfortunately, that's the same region that Moore County's in, and Cornersville has dominated that region so far this season. Page will be at Shelbyville. This might be an interesting game.
Yeah, however, I think Page edges out, but I think it will make for a good game.
Well, and the difference is here, though, it's like we're Shelbyville and some of the other teams. Shelbyville's won their region games.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, it just depends on what Shelbyville team decides to show up. They've kind of been inconsistent at times, but they've gotten things going lately. So I don't know. This is going to be a real good ball game, though.
Well, and the last game we've got, which we penciled back in because we didn't know what was going to happen, Sequatchie County will be at Grundy County. So it'd be good to see that community start putting some healing back into their community and move forward.
Mm-hmm.
We talked briefly. We didn't have any shout outs for anybody this week, so we'll dig deep to have shout outs next week for some of the local talent in and around our community. And we're going to go straight to picks. For some reason, Callie has dipped her foot in the lucky fountain the last couple of weeks. Callie went 5-2. I went 4-3, and Zach, you Callie's rubbed off on you a little bit. So you're 3-3 last week. Overall.
Okay. That doesn't make sense math-wise, but okay.
What?
Because you got 5-2, 3-3. That's 6 games. You guys have 7 games.
We'll figure that out in a minute. You may have been 3-4 then, Zach. I'll go back and count. But anyway, I've got you at 24-20, Callie at 24-20, and me at 27-17. And I'll go back and look. I think the 24-20 is correct, Zach. I'll have to just go back and look, okay?
Okay.
So right now I'm leading. Yeah, well, y'all be excited for me. I haven't won yet. Let's talk football, college football this week before we go into our picks for the week. Number 2, Clemson lost.
Yeah.
Number 8, Washington State lost.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, Washington lost. Number 10, Auburn lost. Now, out of those 4 games, Auburn played LSU. LSU is still a pretty tough team.
They have their moments, yeah.
Clemson played Syracuse. Syracuse lost to MTSU.
Yeah. Did not see that one coming, but.
I mean, we had this conversation last week about, 6 through 40, potentially winning on any given week, and now it's 2 through 40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Out of all the losses, though, the most shocking one to me was the Auburn loss because they were up 20-0 in that game. So and to lose a 20-point lead,
the score, I forget how many unanswered points.
With at least Clemson's case, they lost they were in a close game with Syracuse at the time, and then ended up losing their first-string quarterback. So and
all of these teams, LSU's ranked now, but all of them they were non-ranked teams that came in and beat a top 25 team.
Well, yeah,
or actually a top 10 team.
Yeah, Clemson was on the road, if I'm not mistaken. So, but the most shocking one to me was Auburn, just being up by 20 and losing that one.
I was a little amazed when I saw the Clemson score. I didn't watch the game. Of course, I don't think most people probably would.
I watched the game. It was shocking to sit there and watch I wasn't glued to the TV the whole time, but we both were looking at it, couldn't believe that they were fixing to pull it off, there at the last
and everybody likes the Cinderella story. So
and you have those games, that's what makes college football so much fun to watch.
So maybe somebody was looking ahead a week, although I don't really have Clemson playing somebody this week that's an extremely tough team.
No, I think it was just the whole losing their quarterback, their first-string quarterback, that hurt them.
So, all right, let's talk, Tennessee. Let's talk the Tennessee game for a minute. Tennessee comes in, they're in the red zone. They can't score touchdowns. They get 9 points against a beleaguered South Carolina team. I mean, we knew you two of us had picked South Carolina to win just because we just didn't think UT could get it done. What is up with UT football? Has the team lost confidence, do you think, Zach, in the coaching staff?
I honestly don't know, and it's hard to guess that just from seeing what you see on TV, but something's going on with this team, and they just cannot get it done offensively. And then the second half, just to put up that abysmal performance offensively is just embarrassing. Up until the final drive of the game, they had 3 total yards in the second half. How does that happen? Then you get 70+ yards on that final drive. Where was that offense the rest of the second half?
Should have played the 2-minute drill the whole second half.
And of course, that helps that South Carolina was in the prevent defense. So,
what do you think, Kelly? I mean, I know you're a little bit disgusted as a UT fan.
I feel bad for the players. Something's up with the program, obviously. Otherwise, I don't think they would be playing like they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think at this point, social media and everything, everybody needs to let them finish out their season. They're going to play how they're going to play, and then that's going to be that.
Well, unfortunately, though, the way things are now, if you ride, let's say your coach's coattails to the end, even if you're going to, let go of your coach, it has big implications when it comes to recruiting.
Yeah.
You almost need someone in place before the season even ends.
Yeah, but I also think you roll dice with that too. If they don't like who you put in as interim, or they, if they cloud too much of that, if that's clouding too much of how they're playing in the season itself, that becomes, I think it's become too much of the talking point, and it's distracting the players from putting forth go ahead and let Butch do what Butch is going to do. Let him finish just out the season. The positive to that is if he doesn't go to a bowl game, if we want him out, if the powers that be want him gone, his buyout goes down significantly if he doesn't win a buyout, if he doesn't win a bowl game or go to a bowl game, sorry. So there's one thing you can look at. If he's going to continue down this road, well, the buyout's not as much. We can put that towards the new coach. And then at the end of the season, really take the time to decide the coach that would be best for the program, not just what the money will buy, what the coach that will be best for the program.
Well, and that's kind of one of my questions, because it's not going to get better. They have Alabama this
Yeah, yeah.
Now, if UT was to go in and beat Alabama, would that save Butch Jones?
I think it would save him, yes, but I just don't think that's going to happen.
I think it would, but the 34-point underdog at this point.
I mean, even a good showing. I mean, even
I don't think a good showing.
28 to 21 would show.
It'll get him to the net, and not like, but I still go back and saying we need to, because they were Wes Rucker wrote a really good column about where they stand right now. And the best thing to do, it is becoming too much of a distraction for the players. Unfortunately, social media is what it is. They're trying to turn a deaf ear to it, but exactly how much can you turn a deaf ear to it? Well, that's mostly the questions you're being asked. So I would think, and you go back to when Fulmer was coach and they fired him mid-season, they said that there was no accountability. Why come to practice? Why do anything? Coach is leaving at the end of the season.
Isn't it afraid that they know? I mean, can it not be obvious to players right now? I mean, to me, it shows that they're not ready for games, and that may be because of what's going on.
Yeah, and I think it is. Yeah, and I think it is.
So right now, there's some reports out there that Bobby Petrino is the front runner.
Well, I pray and hope that's not the case.
Yeah, I really hope that's not the case.
Him
either.
and Chip Kelly.
I'm
not saying they're 100% reliable sources. I'm just saying it's.
Well, like I said, I wish that they let that alone, because
what about David Cutler?
Yeah,
well,
but I
he
don't
was up
think
on the
Cutler.
stands there on Saturday. How about him?
Charlie Strong's available.
Yeah. But Charlie Strong is also, I think, still undefeated at South Florida. So I wouldn't, if I was Charlie Strong, I'd just stay right
How about
where I was.
Foster, the other Central?
If I had a
How
dream,
about John Gruden, since he was up there in the stands on Saturday, huh?
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
if I was
He
John
hasn't done it.
Gruden,
I think John Gruden likes doing.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, I
That's what I
wouldn't.
was having a discussion with a friend yesterday. I have absolutely no idea why he would slip
Exactly,
into
I don't know
that
why.
role.
who, in my opinion, that if I had a dream pick, it'd be somebody that's a former player. Take a look at Johnny Majors, Philip Fulmer. I mean, you can say what they want there at the very end.
Yeah, but what former players are there? T. Martin's out there.
Jim Bob Cooter. If you throw enough money at him, I think
Where's he at?
he's an offensive coordinator at Detroit Lions.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'd say you'd have to go. for
He
that.
played
But
with
the Detroit
Manning.
Lions aren't doing that great.
Yeah, but
Offensively, they are though.
yeah,
Sure.
offensively they're
You don't want the
great.
defensive coordinator, you want the offensive.
And he also is a Lincoln County
Yep.
native.
Yeah.
And if you take a look back at Johnny Majors and Philip Fulmer's time, they owned in-state recruiting, and that's one thing we have yet to be able to come back and capture since Fulmer left.
Well, but I would even say Butch Jones has done a great job
Well, yeah,
recruiting.
Yeah.
But that's one thing I have a problem with. If you have top 10 recruiting talent
Should be able to
seasons,
translate that on the field like Alabama.
at least to be competitive.
yeah.
I mean,
Well, I think a lot
so
of-
you're sitting at 3-3 on the year, but you didn't lose 41 to nothing to Georgia. You lost 41 to 35.
Yeah.
You
I think another component. There's so many components. There's not just a bad coach. Everybody wants to say it's Butch. There's other components.
Well, it's not just Butch. We talked about it.
The
a week or
play-
two
well,
ago
yeah,
about
you
how
have-
big he
Yeah.
just is the head of the whole thing.
Exactly. Well, he needs to take responsibility, which he's kind of yet to do. He kind of really hasn't stepped out and said, "Hey, I'm the coach. I'm the one. I've got to take some responsibility." Secondly, you have individual players. Nobody is necessarily, in my opinion, playing as a team right now. You have great individual players, but nobody has come together and said, "We gotta, no matter what." It's like Coach Olive and their two-year loss. Game's still got to be played.
Yep.
You're not going to be able to forfeit every game. So let's do what we got to do. Come together and like you said, a good showing. So maybe you don't win, but maybe instead of 40 to nothing, it's 40 to 35 or something like that. It's something.
Well, I mean, I'd be
reasonable.
happy this week to see
Points on the
38
board.
to 28.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's what I would be happy to see. I don't expect them to win, but to see a team starting to grow together.
Yeah.
Team. All right, let's move on. Is Derek Mason at Mandy? You think he's in trouble? He's not done very good.
Not very good, but I don't see.
I don't
him
see it
being
enough
fired.
to get him out of there.
Unless he loses to Tennessee, and then I think that he will be immensely turned up if they lose that game. But I
Well,
don't think he's going to be gone regardless.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be gone at the end of the season. I mean, he had a good year last year. I mean, I think he's proven that he knows how to build a team, and he is at Vandy. He's not at,
Yeah,
Yeah.
people keep forgetting that.
and I'm not taking anything away from Vandy at all, so please don't send hate mail. But
You've gotten hate mail?
no, but I know how mean those Vandy people get.
Yeah.
But Vandy struggles to find talent sometimes.
Well, yeah.
And has a tough time in the SEC, or has even, immensely in the past. So I think some of the coaching has helped change the program to where they're not an 0 12 team. Anyway, let's talk this week, and let's do your pen.
Okay.
Picks this week. I think this is an interesting game. Kentucky's doing quite well at Mississippi State. We'll start with Callie.
Ooh, this is hard because Mississippi State has had moments of glory and then really bad moments. And Kentucky's also had the same. I'm going to say, oh, that's hard. Kentucky. It's getting towards the end of the season.
All right.
The wins are
I'm
nice.
going Mississippi State at home. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm going to Mississippi State. I was really impressed with them against BYU last week. Of course, BYU's down, but still, it's BYU.
And Mississippi State, they had a tough game against, was it Alabama? They got crushed, or was it Auburn? They got beat pretty good. But anyway, I think Mississippi State's got more talent. But Kentucky is having a very good year. All right, let's talk LSU at Ole Miss. They won't be in Death Valley this week. So Ole Miss got pummeled by Alabama. Zach, what do you think?
I don't really know. I can see this one going either way.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say that LSU is going to be riding the momentum from last week beating Auburn, so I'm going to say LSU.
And I'm going to go
You
with
automatically gave me that pick, Joe.
yeah, that's maybe why I messed up. So I'm going with you, and I'm going with LSU because I think that's how you change a program. They were down. They had a couple of losses they probably wish they didn't have, and they won a couple of games.
Oh, yeah.
That maybe they weren't supposed to win. So what do you think?
Yeah, I'll take LSU in this one, even though I feel like it could go either way. But they're trying to make a point now. That's something Tennessee can take some, take a look at. This team was down. They got beat by Troy, but they did not let that in their season. It's lots of football left to be played for
Hey,
them.
we were a field goal from getting beat by UMass.
Yeah, right. So it's not big.
Oklahoma State, number 10 at Texas. Zach, let's go back to you on this one.
You're going to make me go first on this one. I really don't know on this one.
Depends on the Oklahoma State team.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Oklahoma State on this one, even though I'm not confident on that pick. I think it's going to be a close one. I think Texas has proved a lot. They've been proving a lot, and
They need a signature win.
they do need a signature win. So
Yeah, I'm with Oklahoma State. I think
I'm going with Texas, and they get their signature win this week because they're at home.
hope you're wrong.
Let's see. Louisville at Florida State. This would have been like a top-notch game.
I think it's
3 or 4
still
weeks. I mean, it's still going to be a good game.
yeah.
But Louisville's been kind of down. Florida
Yeah.
State, of course, having their issues. Callie, where are you going with this?
Jeez, I get to go first. I don't know. I mean, being at Florida State is certainly in their favor, but they are down. Louisville, though, has just been mucking it up the last 2 games. They have not showed me anything. But I still think they're above par than where Florida State's at. So I'm going to go Louisville. And upset at home.
County's going Louisville. I'm going Florida State. I think they've gotten it turned around. They've got their quarterback, used to it. That's another team that has faced some adversity and, turned the page.
I was really hoping you were going to pick Louisville so I could gain some ground, but I'm going to go try to gain some ground. I'm going Florida State too. Both these teams have just been so inconsistent. And of course, Florida State has reason to be inconsistent, but
Yeah, Louisville doesn't have as much. I mean, the quarterback is the Heisman Trophy winner,
Yep.
right? I mean, I don't understand.
reigning Heisman Trophy.
So, I don't know which game I think is going to be the game of the week here, but we'll start with the Michigan number 19. Michigan, I think, is at number 2. Penn State. Penn State really hasn't played anybody.
Yeah, but Michigan's offense has been mediocre at best.
All right, well,
They
let's
have-
start with Zach on this one.
I'm going Penn State all the way on this one. For specifically what Callie just mentioned is that Michigan's offense has sputtered all season.
Yeah, they could barely. That overtime win last week was, shouldn't have happened. Should have been able to take care of it in the first 4 quarters. And I like Michigan, but I'm going to go with Penn State. I can't. My picks are still good.
All right, and I'm going to go with Penn State as well. Although I think it's a rivalry game.
Yeah, I think it'll be a
close
good game. I think they'll play each other hard, but I think in the end, Penn will come in.
And then quite honestly, if Penn State doesn't lead, there's not a lot of opportunities for a team to beat Penn State this year because they don't play a very tough schedule other than to play Michigan, Ohio State, and now Michigan State's got a little better.
Yeah.
It's a weak conference this year.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other one is number 11 USC at number 13 Notre Dame. Callie, we'll finish up with you.
I just like how, and every time I picked USC, I think I picked them last week and they did win, so I'm going to pick them again this week. They're, they've gained momentum at times, and I like where they're going.
All right,
So
Zach,
it will be
where
hard
you
to
at?
win at Notre Dame.
I'm going Notre Dame. I really liked what I saw from Notre Dame whenever they played Georgia a few weeks ago. So I'm going Notre Dame in this one.
Well, you're not going to catch up on me because I'm going to go with Notre Dame too because I think that Notre Dame, they play offense and defense, and USC, unfortunately, they don't play a whole lot of defense. So if you shut them down a few times, it becomes extremely tough to come back. Is there any underdog games out there, guys, that you guys liked? I wrote down some here, but I think the Texas over Oklahoma State's a good.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be my
that'd be
pick. If I
mine
get
too.
if I can have one, that's the one I want.
Yeah.
Oklahoma at Texas,
All right.
because that game could really go either way.
That's the one you like too, Zach.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I will go. I'll go off the board, and I'll say University of Central Florida at number 20 gets its first loss by Navy.
It's going to be a good game.
But Navy
though.
just fell out of the top 25.
Yeah.
This should be a good game. A fun one to watch. And with that being said, let's talk Titans for a minute. Tennessee, you went to the game last night, Zach. How was the game?
It was a good game between 2 bad teams. But
That's not what you said earlier.
I can't have to watch my words a little bit since I'm on camera now. But no, it was a good win for Tennessee. They needed desperately to win this one. It looked bad for a second there. I mean, Mariota throws the pick 6 to start the 3rd quarter, and you're thinking, great, they're down by 10 points. This is the same old Titans, but they found a way to get it done. Mariota really became actually a pocket passer this time. Really had to focus on that. His hip wouldn't allow him to get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you can tell it's mobility. Will that help him, you think?
I think it'll help him. Yeah, it's
Maybe not so much this season, but
Yeah, not so. I mean, whenever you can rely on whenever you have to become one-dimensional like a passing quarterback, and to see that he was able to do that, that can only boost his confidence. He's only in his 3rd year in the NFL, so that'll do wonders moving forward for him.
before
The Titans.
we move off on that, did you watch the game last night? I like seeing them hand the rock to Derrick Henry.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I wasn't glued to it, but it was.
I mean, it was nice seeing Derrick Henry rip off that 72-yarder or
Big
something.
run to end the ball game.
Yeah,
I mean, this ball game was already over, but
Yeah, it was nice for him to do that. the Mariota thing, you think maybe that the Titans should maybe draft a quarterback that, not Matt Castle, but draft a quarterback that if Mariota gets injured, it can step
They
in.
need to get a
A younger
better
quarterback.
backup.
Yeah.
Younger, better backup quarterback.
I'm not taking anything
So-
away from Matt Castle.
No, nothing.
No.
But you need somebody who's going to be able to step into that offense. The problem with Castle is you have this offense designed for a mobile quarterback like Mariota. Castle in no way is a mobile quarterback at all. Neither is Brandon Weeden behind him. So you need somebody that's going to fit Mariota's build and skills that can be able just to step right on in there.
Well, the whole injury to the hamstring limited the entire offense
Well, exactly. And
last night.
yeah, I mean it did. So, but thankfully, Mariota was able to get some of those passes off and be a precision passer back there.
All right. Well, the next few weeks they have at Cleveland's game they can maybe win.
Yeah, should be able to win.
Then they have a bye, so maybe Mariota gets healthy and is 100%. I don't know. A hamstring injury is just not something you tend to just get over in a couple of weeks. And then they have Baltimore at home the next week. All games they can win. I think Baltimore will be a little tougher.
Yeah, Baltimore's going to be a little bit tougher, but I think it's still winnable.
Who's the best team in the AFC South?
Depends on which Jacksonville team decides to show up. Because whenever Jacksonville plays its best, they're probably one of the best teams. They blasted Houston earlier this year. They
Yeah, I think that was kind of a fluke.
They blasted Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh, who Pittsburgh just knocked off. Kansas City. So it
I
all.
think the NFL's a little difficult this year. There's a lot of mixed talent.
Well, that's exactly what it
Indy
is.
played very well. I think
Yeah.
Indy played above their pay grade last
Yeah,
night.
then Houston, you look at them completely gets blown out by Jacksonville, as you just mentioned, may have been a fluke, but then they get blown out by Kansas City.
Well,
So-
Kansas City's a good team.
I know Kansas City's a
New
good
England's
team,
good
but
I
so
think,
is Pitt. So, like I said, it's a mess right
I
now.
think Houston's the best team right now in the AFC South.
I think
I tell you what, Deshaun Watson picked him up. My fantasy
Yeah.
football numbers and quarterback have been excellent the last
Well,
few
yeah.
weeks.
I mean, that's great. Yeah, I don't know. Houston just has a little question marks from their defensive side of the ball. Can they stay healthy? Because they've lost 3 critical players now for the rest of the season, including J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless. So that's big for the Texans defensively. So I don't know. Right now it's a 3-team race though at the AFC South between the Titans, Jacksonville, and Houston are all tied for first
Well, let me
place.
ask you this: is the 3-team race to pick up basically the last spot in the playoffs? Because
Yeah, it might be.
because right now, I mean, you don't think that Tennessee played very well last night at all.
No, I don't. But I mean, yeah, that's just because I don't think Indianapolis is very good at all. So I thought that it was ridiculous for them to be down at 10 early in the second. Or
Well, it
early
seemed
in the third
ridiculous
quarter,
that
but
I think their defense is.
their
gonna
defense
kill
is
us.
okay, yeah, but offensively though they were moving the ball on the Titans, which is just pretty inexcusable for.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Tennessee's defense has
Yeah.
been anemic.
Yeah.
Not like they were last year.
Yeah, not at all. So. I
When
don't
they
know.
started blitzing, I was like, you got a young quarterback.
You got to throw them off. You got to throw different things at them. So.
All right, well, folks, that's it. You had it for this week's edition of Extra Point. Once again, you can always reach Callie at
NewsGal27 on Twitter.
you can always reach Zach
At Zach Burt's on Twitter, no spaces in between.
and you can always just call me. Just don't give me death threats, Mandy, folks. All right. We appreciate you guys. Yeah, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Hope you enjoy a good weekend of football. Have a good day.